All right, so I know the audio for this is not going to be good. I apologize. This is the only time and place I can do this. So, wanted to do a quick reaction to the Baker Mayfield podcast that was released today. We've all been waiting for this. The podcast itself, I will say this, I enjoyed the format of it. I love these casual conversations. It's more real, versus like having somebody on a show and doing an interview. I love the casual podcast conversation. So I really enjoyed that side of things. I didn't realize that it was on video too. I listened to the Apple version of the podcast, and I gotta say, going back, looking at some of the clips, the dog on the couch was absolutely hilarious. Literally just trying to steal the show, whatever, but that was funny. Me being such a big college football fan, it was great listening to Baker's side of things on the Oklahoma transfer, what happened at Texas Tech, all of that. That was cool to listen to. The story about his roommate was funny, whatever. And then the story about how Baker met one of the co-hosts or hosts is absolutely hilarious. I mean, can you imagine? You go out one night, you wake up, and then all of a sudden Baker Mayfield's on your couch playing Fortnite. Like, that's hilarious. But the football side of things, I will say this. When he said, I don't have a chip on my shoulder, I have a boulder, I literally face palmed, like, in real life when I heard that. I was like, dude, you've got to be kidding me. Like, come on, bro. Literally the problem with Baker Mayfield that everybody talks about is his attitude and everything. Then you come out and you're like, no, I don't have a chip, I have a boulder. It's like, all right, whatever, dude. Taking subtle shots at Kevin Stefanski and saying that how bad this year was in the locker room and everything like that, I didn't think it was needed. Again, it's one of these character issue problems for Baker. My biggest thing is he's got the high school college mentality trying to play like that in the NFL, and it just does not work. These guys are grown men with kids, houses, and he kind of talked about this of it's hard adjusting to becoming a leader in the NFL versus college, because in college you're trying to get to that level. The NFL, you're already there. So learning how to motivate and kind of take control of the locker room is very different. To me, he still just has not grasped how to do that yet in any sense of the imagination. To me, it was a lot of immaturity on his side of things, blaming everybody else. It wasn't terrible necessarily, but there was a lot of times in this podcast that it was like, really, like, come on, Baker. Just more examples of some of the issues that he has. And for him, when they asked him, like, hey, where do you think you're going next? For him to come out and say, well, if you would have asked me that a week ago, I would have said Indianapolis. And then he was like, well, I guess Seattle. You got to understand, you're killing your trade value and your stock and whatever. The Browns are not going to cut Baker Mayfield, despite what everybody thinks. That's just not going to happen. They will eat a lot of that contract, and somebody's going to have to trade picks. Even if it's a 6th or a 7th, the Browns will not cut him. And it's just, his decision-making is just not good. It's good to be able to sit down and listen to more of the human side of things when you have podcasts like this. But I just don't understand his thought process in a lot of things, to be honest with you. And overall, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't good for Baker at all. I wish him the best, obviously, but the whole comment about, hey, real Browns fans know that I gave it my all, and just kind of alluding to what's happening right now. Going after a better quarterback is this terrible thing. I just don't get why he does stuff like this. Like, you did not have to say that. You literally could have just went out and said, hey, did everything I could. Ultimately, didn't work out. It's best for both sides to move on. No, you got to take a shot and say, oh, well, real Browns fans know. It's like, come on, dude. But yeah, so that's really all I have to say. I'm probably forgetting a lot of things, but overall, it was nice to have that good casual conversation. Interesting to learn more things about him as a person, I guess, and more the college side of things. But as far as the Brown stuff, he's just bitter. You know, and I don't blame him in a way, but also a lot of the problems are his fault, and he refuses to look in the mirror. So, you know, I think that's just a harsh reality. But anyway, if you will listen to this podcast or watch this podcast, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And, you know, we'll see. We'll see where it goes from here. I think odds are he gets traded on draft night. I could see a Josh Rosen type situation happening. So we'll see. But let me know your thoughts. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.